Basically, when you do a Google search of like side hustle ideas, you get a bunch of sell on eBay, do drop shipping. Basically, I just think it's a bunch of crap.
Well, hi there, and welcome to Side Hustle Hero, the show that is laser focused to inspire you to take action to start or to scale your side hustle income streams. I'm your host, Joan, author of The Way Success Works. If you listened to our last episode, number 90, with my guest Adam Keller, you know he's got the mindset of a side hustle entrepreneur. I'm excited to share today's episode with you because we talk about real doable side hustles from his book, 101 Real-World Side Hustles. The ideas he shares in the book, he's either running as a business, has friends who have done it, or he's heavily researched. During our interview, we explore several. But aside from this episode being an idea generator for you, one of the real gems not to be missed is when Adam talks about how he's trained his brain to look at things from an entrepreneurial perspective. He gives two very clear examples, one at a restaurant and the other at a trampoline park. I highly recommend that after giving it a listen, you put it on your calendar to spend time this weekend when you're out and about to follow his lead and seriously look at your surroundings through your eyes as a side hustle entrepreneur. And while you're plotting your side hustle success, if you're enjoying what you're hearing in this podcast and you'd like to show your support, a fun way is to head on over to sidehustlehero.com/support, where you can shoot me over a large soy latte. Or maybe a double espresso. It really is a thing at sidehustlehero.com/support. Thank you from the bottom of my coffee cup. And if you're not already a subscriber, please join us by hitting the subscribe button. It just takes a sec and really helps our ranking. Thank you so much. Now here is my conversation with the author of 101 Real-World Side Hustles, Adam Keller. Well, clearly your involvement in side hustles extends far beyond the party rental business. What motivated you to write the book 101 Real-World Side Hustles?
Basically, when you do a Google search of like side hustle ideas, you get a bunch of sell on eBay, do drop shipping. Basically, I just think it's a bunch of crap that you get, the top 50 list. I don't know why they're making them. It's got ads. They're making money somehow off of these lists, but they're always easy and simple and, to me, stupid ideas. And I was like, all right, I have researched a lot of ideas.
Okay.
I know a lot of people who do a lot of things. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to make a book of ideas. So this is more of a book of ideas. It runs you through the idea,
Okay.
where you can go get more information, the basics of it. I link to various resources for it. Like, each idea could be its own book.
It's more than just the idea. You know that these side hustles work. Is that correct?
Yes. So I'll just running through it. It's like, what is it? The qualifications if needed, startup costs, hitting costs, potential earnings, time involved, all the questions you're asking me. Your customer scalability, other ways to make money. Do you need a website? How do you market? Equipment you need, staff
Yep.
required, and then additional resources to go on to learn it more. So each one's about 3 pages long. Then if you like it, then you go on to more learning about it.
Right.
But there are ideas like that were not on that list. I'm just going to open to a random page.
Okay.
Let's see. Mosquito control. It's actually a very easy business to get into and makes a lot of money. And it's recurring revenue because you set people up on a monthly or 6-week schedule where you go do their lawn. There's franchises you can buy into.
Sorry, you said their lawn. So what is involved in a mosquito control company?
You have to you spray stuff with chemicals and you keep the mosquitoes down. So this is
Okay.
in wet climates. This is if you have swamps around you.
Right.
This is rich people's neighborhoods. They want to enjoy outside and they just subscribe to the service. There's one-off people who were having a big event and let's make sure there's
Sure.
no mosquitoes.
Again, another compliment for what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like almost like a lawn maintenance business like that. Where
Yeah,
you get
kind of.
that
So it's like less than
reoccurring-
$10,000 to start. The only real hurdles are you just need to get certifications
Right.
for the chemicals and
Sure.
then finding the customers.
Hmm. Right. I love the way your book is laid out like that. with all those subheadings, the cost, the revenues, what to expect, that type of thing for each of them, so a person can go through and begin to pick and choose what's a fit for them. What are a couple of your favorites besides the party rentals?
All my favorites have to do with rental, though. It's owning
Okay.
something and renting it out. So whether it's like an RV, there's 3 apps right now that are like Airbnb, but it's to rent out your RV, whether that's a tow behind, a teardrop trailer, an
Right.
actual driving camper, or a conversion van. There's apps to rent that out. So I bought a teardrop trailer just to test the market in my area because I want to buy several like Mercedes Sprinters and turn them into converted campers.
Okay. What's a Mercedes Sprinter?
Just the big vans,
Oh,
big,
okay. All right.
big work van.
Okay.
There's a guy I know on TikTok. He has 3 of them and he makes 15,000 a month renting them out. And he only rents them he stops in the winter just because he doesn't want to deal with it.
Right.
He could rent them in winter, but
Yep.
yeah,
So,
anything that you can own and rent out to people
so
is my favorite ones.
how did it go with the teardrop trailer?
It went good. Proof of concept was proven. And so I'm going to get them and start renting them out and use them for my own use too.
Right.
Um, Video game trailer. You own a trailer that is all set up for video games, and you go to people's houses and they pay you $300 for the hour and a half that you're there, and then you go off to the next one. This one's a simple one. It's called
Okay.
yard card rentals. You ever seen someone's front yard? It says "Happy 50th birthday," and it's all these cards and like it's just a big display.
Oh, okay.
That one's easy in populated areas. It's not like high profit. Well, it's not like high
Right.
ticket, but
Right.
it's something to get started in.
What have you got on that one for potential earnings?
Potential profit for each yard card setup is about $100 to $200. That's profit.
Oh,
You just got to make sure you brace yourself accordingly.
after outlining 101 of them, would you say there's something for everyone in there?
Yeah, there's something that everyone anywhere can do. People are just scared, and not scared in like I'm terrified kind of way. They just don't know where to begin, what to think about. They just don't have the idea.
I remember when you were thinking about or talking about the teardrop trailer there, I saw that somebody doing that out of my self-storage facility. We were next door to a really, really nice provincial campground. And one of our clients was doing that. He bought one trailer that he would drop there for the people to rent. And then we saw him expand to a second, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. It was really great to see that growth. That was probably about 10 years ago or so.
And now he
When
can use the
we did it.
apps and make it easier for himself too. There's a
Right.
there's someone near me doing Turo. You know what Turo is? It's when you can rent your own car out.
Right. Yes.
They basically turn themselves into a rental agency. They have like 15 cars and it's all run on Turo. So they're
Wow.
renting not just their own cars out, they bought cars to rent out on Turo.
Specifically for that.
Mhm.
Nice. So all these things to look in, and it sounds like your book 101 is going to give people a lot of different ideas. And I like it too that it is listing a lot of things that are also for those people that are more hands-on versus people that want to be in front of the computer to generate that income.
Yeah, I have a few in there that are like computer stuff like eBay and Etsy or whatever, but I try to stick to I just call it real world businesses, like things that you do
Right.
like actually in your area.
Okay. And in the case of the party rental business, ones that are very scalable.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I think nearly everything is scalable. You just
Mhm.
have to be willing to do it. But you have to be willing to take yourself out. You can't scale if you're involved in everything.
And not everyone who and you've touched on this, but not everyone who reads your book is going to start a side hustle. Even if it's something that they say they want to do, what do you think it is that prevents people from actually starting, from taking action, from seeing, I don't know, number 98 in your book and saying, geez, that would be a perfect fit for me?
I think you need to change the way you think. And I know there's a lot of books out there, like business books, like change your mindset. I think in general, I don't like business books, but it is about changing your mindset. I think you need to train yourself to think like an entrepreneur. Like since I graduated college and started this business, everywhere I go, I look at like, how are they making money here? What are they doing poorly? How can they do better here? Like Good example is I went to a trampoline park for a kid's birthday. I'm counting heads. I'm trying to wonder how much they're getting for the party room. I'm seeing these kids are playing arcade. Okay, they're making more money there. These guys are selling food, making money there. Then I'm thinking like, well, there's insurances here. How many employees they got? I wonder how much their rent is. And then after that, we go to like a restaurant, and I'm thinking, oh my God, these people have 30-page menu. They could cut this down to 20 items where they share ingredients in between them. So
Ingredients. Yep.
basically, everywhere that I go, I just hypothesize about how this place is making money. If I have a conversation with a small business owner, I'm asking questions and listening. So I've trained my brain to see a situation and evaluate it quickly. Whereas other people, they just go to the restaurant, they just go to the jumping trampoline park
Trampoline park. Yep.
and don't think about it. But the second you start everywhere you are, start thinking, you don't have to talk to anyone. It's just hypothesizing in your own brain. And you start to see things. And then you see something in the book. And you're like, oh, I could do that here. Oh, yeah, it'd be good here. Oh, this one's not good here. Oh, I can make a lot of money. Like you're retraining your brain.
Mm. Actually, your book sounds like a great way to start that training, to take a look at those.
Yeah. It's giving you the ideas and seeing what you have to think about.
There was a guy I had on a little while ago, Jonathan Schuett. His thing is every Saturday, a popcorn stand at a farmer's market. And we were talking about various things like that and the profit margins and things like snow cones when people are spending $7 or $8 for basically ice, and you take a look at the cost of the product. And I think at the end of that episode, I suggested people go to a country market or farmer's market, or even down the main street and take a look and just with that eye of the entrepreneur that you just described, like take a look and see what their profit margins would be, maybe what their gross revenue is, what their costs are going to be, as part of training your brain that way.
Yeah, you have
So
to
important.
have the eye and start looking.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the best way for our listeners to connect with you and your book, Adam?
So mostly TikTok. TikTok is called Real World Side Hustles.
Okay.
There's an Instagram for that too and a YouTube, but like TikTok is the main place. And I make videos I haven't made a video on every single idea on the book, but I make tons of videos about random ideas on TikTok. And it's just Real World Side Hustles, the same on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them.
Well, I love the diversity of the 101 that you've got in there. It really does look like there's something for everyone. So congratulations on the book. And thank you so much for being today's Side Hustle Hero.
Thanks for having me on.
Out of 101 in his book, do you think there might be a side hustle that resonates with you? I've included a link in the show notes of Adam's book because even if you just read the online table of contents, it lists all 101. And you'll likely discover side hustles you haven't thought of before, like Lego parties, mobile car detailing, movie screen rentals. It really is a great idea generator. And then I have another mission for you, if you choose to accept it. And that is to see through the eyes of the entrepreneur. You can do this exercise in your local shopping business area, but if you have the opportunity to be at a farmer's market, those are great because in a very short period of time, you'll be walking by many, many businesses. This weekend, as you're taking a stroll past a business, consider some of the main factors which affect their net profit. For example, how labor intensive is it? How regulated is it or not? Because that can demand additional fees. How about the risk involved? Your cost of insurance is going to be way more for a trampoline park, for example, than selling homemade bars of soap. What are the main costs? What's the demand for the product? What are other products or services that business could add on to create more revenue with the same number of employees and production space? I did this exercise just yesterday while waiting in line at my favorite pasta vendor at a local weekly market I go to. The booth next to me featured baked goods. About half the inventory was sourdough breads. I did a quick count of the loaves stacked up behind her, did some basic math, and realized that gross sales just on the breads would amount to over $1,000. That didn't include the scones, donuts, and all the other tempting treats she was selling. Booth rental in my area runs about $100 a day. Not bad. So while gross sales for the day looks pretty respectable, I wonder where she's doing the baking. Her own commercial kitchen or renting a space in a commissary kitchen. That can get expensive. By merely observing, you're not going to have the hard numbers, but you'll realize that the vendor selling bags of popcorn or snow cones has a huge profit margin compared to someone selling a steak sandwich. That example, by the way, is right out of episode 77, Massive Markups for Mega Profits with Jonathan Schuett. If you liked Adam's style, you'll love this episode with Jonathan. I think these two are kindred spirits. All of us can develop an entrepreneurial mindset. Like most things, it just takes willingness, dedication, and practice. Well, that's a wrap for today. You'll find links to Adam's book, social media, and the full show notes at our website, sidehustlehero.com. If you're enjoying what you're seeing in this podcast, I'd be so grateful if you would take a moment and add your comment, share the episode, and please subscribe. It'll let others know that there's valuable content here to help them start or grow their side hustle. Thanks for watching, and hustle on.